Good afternoon, everybody. Brandon McCaskill here with Momentum Canada. I hope you're having a good start to your Monday, January 9th. Seems like January is just kind of clipping by, isn't it? My son's birthday tomorrow. We're pretty excited. He's turning 4. So I'm planning on taking the day off tomorrow. I got a lot of work to do. I've been up to a lot, but I want to make the day special for the little guy. Loves his birthday. Lynn B, she's already in the house. Lynn B, how you doing? She says, I'm here on time. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. So today we got a lot to talk about. But before we get too into things, let me do this. So are you feeling run down and constantly getting sick? Are you struggling to bounce back post-pandemic as quickly as you used to? If so, you may be experiencing a depleted immune system. Fortunately, there is a solution. It's called Ancient Immunizone with Adaptogen from the JVJ DNA company. JVJDNA.com's founder, a former Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson staffer, has developed a new immune-boosting supplement specifically designed to support and strengthen your immune system, helping you to feel your best and stay healthy. His supplement contains a unique herbal formula called adaptogen. Adaptogen has been shown to support optimal immune function. With regular use, you can expect to see an improvement in your overall health and well-being and shake off the post-pandemic blues. So why wait? Start supporting your immune system today and take control of your health. Try the JVJ DNA Ancient Immunizone with Adaptogen and see the difference for yourself. And don't forget, you can use promo code FIT24 and save yourself 10%. That's right, FIT24 for 10% off any order at jvjdna.com web store. Awesome. All right, let's get that out of the way. Boom. Guys, I hope your Monday's off to a great start. Let me make sure these comments. Awesome. Lynn's just saying, howdy. I'm doing well, thanks. Great. So today we're talking about, we're going to be talking about immigration again. We talked about immigration last week, and we're going to be talking about it quite a bit here on the channel, especially this year, because I really think, and Brooke and I kind of come to an agreement on this, this is going to be a hot topic for the freedom movement, the PPC crowd. I really think even conservatives really need to jump on this. And actually, yesterday, or I should say late last night, I jumped into my studio. I mean, I've been, like I said, I've been so busy with so much. I'm trying to finalize my book, by the way. I did a little live stream on Saturday night, I believe, trying to finish up my book. It's called A Prayer for Walton Bay. I'm going to be sharing that with you guys when you can order your copy. Right now, I'm just going through it with a physical copy with a pen because I'm spotting some little mistakes that my editors, because I've had a few of my friends help me with it that they didn't pick up, so I just want it to be perfect. But I did that stream the other night, and so with all that going on, I was about to say something I can't remember. I got ahead of myself there, but immigration. Yes, we're talking about immigration. Immigration is going to be a hot topic. Oh yeah, this is what I was saying, because I made a video last night. My plan was to work on my book, but I made this video, and it's called, I can't even remember, Maxime Bernier versus Pierre Poilievre. So what I did is, because last week I played Maxime's perspective on immigration, this new plan put forward by the Trudeau government to have 500,000 immigrants coming to Canada every year by 2025. And so I listened to his perspective, which I completely agree with. He's making really good points. But then within that interview, he critiques other politicians, and he even talks about Pierre Poilievre. So I was curious, what did Pierre Poilievre say about this? So I watched that, and I found some interesting things. So I put the video and I meshed it together, and it's not a jab at any of them. I'm just asking questions and kind of wondering what's going on here. So let me play this video for you, and we'll go from there. I believe it's this one. All right, let's make this bigger for you. And let's watch.
The reality is, and you were right about that, 42% of them, if you look at the data and the statistic, 42% of them are going to Toronto and Vancouver, these two big cities. So yes, that has an impact on the prices of houses over there. And the solution to that is to have sustainable immigration. But these establishment political parties won't speak about that.
And so the Trudeau government just announced a big new immigration target. Do you think that sort of high target is in line with achieving affordable housing or even things like access to healthcare?
Okay, well, first of all, I would say immigrants are not the problem in the housing market.
42% of them are going to Toronto and Vancouver.
We have more land in Canada where there's no one than we have land where there's anyone. And our economy with more skilled workers, get them credentialed, get them to work.
So would you keep these types of high targets or increase
Look,
them?
I think that immigration levels should be determined by both demand in Canada for immigrants and demand by immigrants to come here. Central planning doesn't work in the economy. It doesn't work in immigration either. So I'm not trying to dodge your answer about numbers. I just think that we need to, the system should be based less on arbitrary numerical targets and more on the demands of the Canadian economy, Canadian charities, Canadian families, and the immigrants who want to come here.
You cannot speak like that in this country. It's not politically correct.
And that's really the answer, isn't it? I just thought that was interesting. Seems to be they're misrepresenting each other in a way. Because I think Pierre is saying he is for sustainable immigration. And I think this is the message that we as YouTubers on this side of the aisle, we need to clarify again and again, because the narrative is being that anybody who speaks the word mass immigration is this person that ought to be demonized. And, you know, I don't know if there's been the racial slurs slung yet calling us racist, because that's kind of how they're treating Maxime Bernier right now. I mean, he had billboards torn down because people were so upset. He had a billboard, a bunch of billboards that said, say no to mass immigration, his huge, you know, those huge ones you see in big cities. And so the company got enough complaints and they tore them all down. So, yeah, I just think we need to be clear on that messaging, the difference between sustainable and mass. Mass is like, it's self-explanatory. You guys know what that means. And sustainable, obviously, is also self-explanatory. And I think that's what they're both describing. The only difference is Pierre is not taking a step out into the politically incorrect way of doing things. So let's read these comments. Lynn B says, I have no issue with immigration if they come through proper legal channels. However, they're flooding through Roxham Road without being vetted. That's a huge problem. Yeah, exactly. I'm with you 100%, 100%. And that's some of the things that Max brings up as well. I think I'm unfamiliar with Roxham Road, even if that's how you say it. Is it Roxham? I don't know. But he does mention about people coming up through New York into Quebec illegally. And he's just saying, you know, this is just a matter of legitimizing our border, just putting up he said, I don't care if it's a fence, make it official so that people just don't come walking through. And he seems to be a guy that's for immigration. He's just saying, we want to bring you in if you're a refugee, but if you're not, you have no business coming here, right? So, yeah, PDS says, I'm here too. Great to have you, PDS. Great, great, great to have you. So yeah, you guys are just saying hello, hello, awesome. Limby says Roxham Road. Is it Roxanne or Roxham? I think it's Roxham, right? Roxham Road is in Quebec. Okay, gotcha. And that's where the illegals are crossing into Canada from New York. Perfect. Thanks for clarifying that, Lynn B. As I said, this is as with the past couple of weeks, this has been very new to me. So I'm learning with you guys, and I think we're all going to be well educated by the time it comes election time. So that's good. That's good, right? PDS says the other day there was something said with Biden that the immigrants coming from the South, one of my great to Canada. Not sure what you're saying. I think you had some typos there. Maybe reword that. Roxham, I mistyped. Awesome. Everybody's having a mistype day. I've been having that since I was born. Every day I'm sending messages that have typos in them. It's awesome. PDS says there was something with Congress and Biden saying the immigrants are flooding through the United States and they want to make their way into Canada. Okay, I got you. So yeah, I watch a bunch of news. I can't handle CNN anymore, but I do. But it's interesting now that the Biden administration seems to be a little bit more alert about the border all of a sudden, right? Now that the Congress has been handed over to Kevin McCarthy, which is what we're going to talk about today. Just briefly, I'm not too well read into the United States, like the nitty gritties of how their republic functions, but I thought it was interesting. And my overall thought is it's kind of anytime there's just like petty little arguments going on, I kind of see that as a distraction because we all know that there's nefarious things going on worldwide. And to me, it's just an opportunity for these nefarious people to take advantage of these situations. So we're going to get into that. But we do have Brooke Day in the waiting room. He's going to join us. I'll get him to give me a thumbs up if he's ready to go. But he's good to go. So I'm going to bring him in here. I'll take a little sip. And we'll bring him in. Brooke, how you doing?
Hi, Brandon. How's it going today?
Great. Great start to the show.
Yeah? Love the topic of today's show.
Yeah, we had to pivot a bit because I forgot to mention that we did have Brian Everett, a PPC candidate, lined up for today, but unfortunately he couldn't make it. But we're going to reschedule, make it more convenient for him because he does work, and that seems to be a thing with people. They have jobs, but
they have jobs.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So we're going to have him on eventually, and he's going to give his 2 cents on this immigration thing because that's I think that's going to be their number one issue. Would you agree with that?
Oh, well, I'm glad that I get to address immigration before Brian does, because you know from talking to me almost all day, every day, that's my issue, I believe, that we're transiting towards here in Canada. Mm. Whenever your government publicly states that they're going to bring in 500,000 immigrants every year to your country, that becomes the number one policy issue.
Oh, yeah.
In a lot of respects. And I don't think people do enough thought with this. And that's why I said to you, let's take the opportunity. Let's be leaders on this.
Yeah.
Let's draw our position.
Yeah.
And let's thoughtfully go over the policies and what they can do on the positive side for Canada.
Yeah.
And what they can do possibly on the negative side for Canada if we don't manage it the right way. That's sort of been my position on it.
Oh, yeah. And like I was just saying a few minutes ago, in terms of messaging, we really got to stay on top of, because the media is going to try to paint anybody who talks about mass immigration.
Yeah.
I won't be surprised if they start calling us racists.
Well, of course. And that's why I always lead off. I'm pro-immigration for 2 reasons. Number one, I'm a talent recruiter. You know, I'm an executive by trade. And one of the things that I believe in the company is you can't have enough talent. I come from athletics where recruiting was a major thing. You know, coaches in the college ranks always want the best players for their team that obviously they can bring in. So I do look at our country as an extension of that. If you look at the City Corporation of, say, Canada, Sarnia has an interest in bringing in the best that it can into our city.
Yes.
We have a wonderful college right now that's bringing in fantastic talent globally. Right.
Yeah.
So we're doing sort of that part well. but we can't have immigration for immigration's sake. And that really is two things there. Okay. There's two things for that. The first one is the way some people look at it, like, well, we can't bring in all these people because they're going to take away our jobs.
Right.
No, that's not what I mean. Immigration for immigration's sake is that we do have a real need right now in Canada to replenish the tax base and to re-up the workforce because our workforce is old. Those are real problems. We can't get around those. The second thing, though, is that how do we bring those people in and how do we actually give them a fighting chance to help out? Right. That's the part, Brandon, where I just don't think we're doing a very good job. All of my research, all of the people that I talk to are all sitting around going, well, what's the plan? You know, are we just throwing money at these folks that are coming in and saying, here's your little stipend, go ahead, we're dropping you in the bucket and you can fight? That's fine if this was the 1800s and 1700s of the United States, right, where there was so much commerce activity and freedom to go ahead and just do what you do. But we're in a highly regulated situation here in Canada. And I think because of that, it's really difficult to assimilate into society. And I don't think policymakers have really taken that part into consideration very well.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to get to your comment there in a second, Lynn B, but because that'll shift our next
I'd love
topic.
to talk about all that as well, too. Yeah. But that's why I was a little fired up today, because that was big. That was big theater this weekend.
Yeah. But first, just smoking my elbow. I just want to ask you what you thought of the video that I shared. I don't know if you were watching when I first started, but I shared the video just comparing the perspective of Maxime and Pierre. And Pierre seems to be saying exactly what you're saying. He's not saying. He's not using buzzwords. He's not using the buzzword mass immigration, and he's being careful. And he's saying exactly what you're saying, taking away obstacles for these immigrants coming in. Yep. And he even says dogmatically that he's against putting some sort of target number. He said that's a foolish idea. He said we need to balance the supply and demand of the country. And that's what Max is saying too, except he's just being more blunt about it, calling it a spade a spade. So I think that's the only difference between the two. Right. What do you think?
Okay. Well, to look at these two perspectives, you have to look at what they're selling.
Right.
Max is selling for all purposes. And look, I like Maxime Bernier. I like a lot of his platform. Okay. I think his platform is very pro-Canadian. Yeah. It's a pro our audience. Our audience buys into that platform. But Max is selling fear there. He is. He's saying mass immigration, flood the market, drive wages down. There's a deleterious effect of bringing all of this labor into our country to keep our labor prices as is. That's what he's selling.
Right.
Now, that's an effective message, though. I'm okay with him selling that because we do need to consider that, Brandon. Yeah. We do need to consider what bringing in 500,000 people would do to our wage market.
Right.
Right. So we need to make that part of the plan. On the other side, what Pierre is selling is pragmatism, right? He's saying we have a problem. We need to provide a solution. Here's the solution, right? And that's fine too. But there's downsides to his messaging as well because it doesn't catch people's attention enough.
Right.
And this is what I try to say to the people who are on both sides of the fence in the right-wing politics side of our country is that you guys are on the same side and you need each other.
A lot of ways,
each other. Yeah. Max needs Pierre to be practical, and Pierre needs Max to be extreme and sell the fear. Because they do need it. The fear brings people's attention to the issue. It gets people worried that we're not going to do it right. And Pierre is supposed to moderate that. Moderate that fear and say, look, we need to solve the problem that Max is bringing up.
Yeah.
Right?
That makes so much sense.
What we don't want in Canada, and this is very important that people need to understand. First off, immigration is an economics issue.
Yeah.
So it's not a xenophobe issue. It's not.
No.
And if you put that barrier up at the very beginning, it doesn't let bright, intelligent people actually deal with the problem.
Right.
Because
it's not a geography issue. Because I saw Pierre bring that up. Because I don't know who's making that argument that we're running out of space here in Canada. Because he'll bring that up. And I hope he's not trying to say that's what Maxime is saying, because I think Maxime is recognizing it's an economic problem. It's not a matter of space.
I believe from what I read on the PPC platform, I believe that Max does look at it as a economics problem, but he looks at it from an economics problem as hurting the Canadian worker,
Right.
hurting the Canadian wage, so that wages become suppressed because you bring in folks from countries who expect less.
Yes.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
That's where folks could start saying, that's where fear mongering takes over. You know, oh, well, I'm not going to get raises. My union's not going to negotiate as hard. What if we bring in, like all this stuff? Right?
Yeah. I'm going to push back there because I think, get your opinion on this. Labeling it fear mongering, is there a better way of putting that? Because it's not like it's anything he's saying is untrue, right? I think fear mongering.
I'm not labeling it fear mongering from my own perspective, but that's where it will be labeled as fear mongering. Like CBC, Global, CTV News, they're all going to take that and say, "Oh, Max is fear mongering."
Yeah.
Well, it's good that we have a certain amount of fear. We should have a certain amount of fear out there because we should be scared that our wages will be synthetically suppressed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Here in Canada. Because our cost of living is rising, so therefore our wages should be rising along with it. If our wages don't, that buying power of the money we earn from our jobs becomes weaker and weaker. That is the problem that we're dealing with. So we have two problems on our hand. First one, we have a shortening of the workforce and a need for more taxes. Okay. And then two, we have the potential to bring in plenty of new immigrants into our country to help out. But what does that do for wages?
Yeah.
If it suppresses wages, it actually has a negative effect on the citizenship in our country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
LMB says fear mongering has nothing to do with truth or untruth. It's a separate issue. Yeah. And all I was talking about is how the media makes that mean, right?
Yep.
They depict that as something negative. So that's all I meant. But let's pivot here. You want to pivot? I got some videos.
Sure.
I want to.
Sure. We'll talk lots about immigration in the coming months. I will not stop about this, guys. COVID's in the rear view. If you're there's going to be a lot of happenings out there about COVID. We'll have some things, but as far as the mandates, lockdowns, and all that stuff that we went through, that's in the rear view for now.
Right.
The number one issue right now is in money with the central bank digital currency and being educated on the possibility of that coming to Canada. And number two, immigration. And I think as a nation, we can rally behind immigration quicker and what we're going to do with that. Okay. Better than the CBDC because we understand immigration a lot better than we do finance and money and all that stuff. So, those are our issues going forward. These are where the fight is. Join me in the fight here.
Right.
Oh, wait, Brandon, we just got a super chat, a $9.99 super chat from Activated. Thanks, Activated. Don't ever quit. Here's a coffee. Thank you so much. We won't. Fight's on forever. That's
about how much a coffee is these days.
Yeah, that's why we need to not suppress wages.
Thanks, Activated. Appreciate that. So I just wanted to read PDS's comment, make sure I think it's a he.
Nice to see PDS today.
The plan is to flood the system and cut checks at taxpayers' cost. Cool.
That's what he means. That's wage suppression. I picked up on that right there, right? So basically what he's saying to us is that flood the system. And keep in mind, guys, that the immigrants that are coming into Canada, these are not just the people that you might think they would be, like, refugees from the Ukraine war or wars in Africa. These are actually, a lot of them are educated, graduate degree level, PhD level folks from Europe, and they're having a rough time assimilating into Canada. Right. They're having a rough time. I know you want to pivot, but I witnessed a very interesting scene at the Canadian Superstore on Friday when my daughter and I were out grocery shopping. I saw an Indian couple talking to a young Chinese, and I know she was Chinese because I could hear her accent, right? Yeah. Pharmacist at the pharmacy. They couldn't understand each other.
Yeah.
Because of the accents.
Right.
And they were trying to use English, and neither couple were very, they weren't as prolific in the language as, say, you or I. So just think about the practical ramifications of that. Think about what it's like being an immigrant coming and facing that.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's
It
hard.
is.
Yeah, that's a reality that we need to look at. So anyways, you want to pivot?
Yeah, I was just going to add to that. That's the reason why a lot of us, like myself, haven't gone to Quebec, because that would be scary for me. Right. But thank you, Lynn B. She says, please know that YouTube takes 30%. That's actually true. Of all donations, we are not government sponsored. Every dollar helps. Please help support the channel at that link.
One thing,
Awesome.
go ahead and click on the Kraken. So we had a
that?
good laugh. We had a good laugh about Kraken, Lynn, on the group chat this week. Can you believe they had the brass titanium ones to name this subvariant Kraken? Can you believe it, Brandon?
I didn't even hear that. I've been so out of the loop with the COVID side.
Yeah.
Is that what they're calling it?
It's subvariant. It has like a serial number and Kraken.
I stopped listening after they called it the Ninja variant, because I thought that was.
I can't believe it. I like just the titanium ones for them to go there with it. I can't get over it. I just
That's
can't
hilarious.
get over it. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about
Yeah, so let's dial this up. I got a video. This is the viral moment that happened in the chambers. I think this was like at 2 a.m. on Saturday night.
it was. Yeah, I was watching it.
Oh, you were? So let's
Yeah, I
play
was
this
awake.
and we'll react to it. So notice on the left, the aisle that Matt Gaetz is sitting in. Just having a little chat. They're getting heated there, eh? Just McCarthy going back and forth. Where is he? He comes in. Here he comes.
Mike Rogers. He lost his committee placement this morning.
Oh, he's getting grabbed. His mouth is.
And they muzzle him. They muzzle him.
Oh, so it got pretty heated there.
So, okay, this was a masterclass
Yeah.
in negotiation from Matt Gaetz.
Mhm.
First off, I am a big Matt Gaetz guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's why. He's smart. He never misses.
Right.
He never misses, and he's uber prepared.
Mm.
You know, he just went through the mumble tank and the washing machine with the FBI. They tried to stick him with a sex with minors case, and it turned out that not only was he cleared, but the people who raised it on him, they're going to be charged. It got flipped. So Gaetz is one of our guys.
Yeah.
Smart, polished, intelligent, and don't come at him, because you're expecting a fight. And that's what I love about Gaetz. Now look, he basically was arguing with his position that we have an opportunity because we have a weak majority right now.
Yeah.
We have a weak majority to make sure that the coronation of the speaker, leans in the direction of the movement that underpins the Republican voters right now. And that is the populist right.
Yep.
That is MAGA. And that is America First. That falls in line with a lot of things we talk about here. Canada First, Westphalian nation state. Nations should act in their own interest because they have borders of like-minded individuals that share the same culture and same traditions for harmony. And they interact with other nations where they have mutual benefit and mutual, mutual views, right? You don't want to interact with nations that are butchering. Canada doesn't want to interact with nations that are butchering their citizens and doing very, very disgusting things. Right. This is what he's saying. Pay attention to our people. The Republican Party isn't and hasn't been those people. People think right wing is a monolith. It's not.
No.
The khaki pants, deck shoes, and blue blazer crowd of the Republican Party has been in control of the Republican Party, and they've been money first, business first, and they've taken part and the selling out of the middle and lower class of North America to the factories of China.
Right.
And finally, through President Trump in 2016, those people had a voice. And they're still speaking through Matt Gaetz. Those are the voice of Brooke Day and Brandon McCaskill, the people who work for a living in our countries, the people that go to work every day, pay their taxes, come home, feed their families, and save for retirement. Those are our people, okay?
Yeah.
And I am so happy that somebody went to the wall. Somebody had the courage to go to the wall with the other side.
Yeah.
I love the other side. I love pro-business, pro-supply side. Let the money people make the money, invest in the projects, and give them the environment so that they're not worried about, is the government going to shut me down? I love those people, but sometimes those people need to be checked too. And Matt Gaetz did that recently.
Yeah. I'll play his video here in a second, but let me just read this. Silvio says, hello, Sylvia. Limby says, too bad there's no audio with that clip. And we got some laughy face. And now I just want to take another moment to promote our sponsor for today's show. This is JVJ DNA. So are you feeling run down and constantly getting sick? Are you struggling to bounce back post-pandemic as quickly as you used to? If so, you may be experiencing a depleted immune system. Fortunately, there is a solution. It's called Ancient Immunizone with Adaptogen from the JVJ DNA company. JVJDNA.com's founder, a former Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson staffer, has developed a new immune-boosting supplement specifically designed to support and strengthen your immune system, helping you to feel your best and stay healthy. His supplement contains a unique herbal formula called adaptogen. Adaptogen has been shown to support optimal immune function. With regular use, you can expect to see an improvement in your overall health and well-being and shake off the post-pandemic blues. So why wait? Start supporting your immune system today and take control of your health. Try the JVJ DNA Ancient Immunizone with Adaptogen and see the difference for yourself. And don't forget, you can use promo code FIT24 and save yourself 10%. That's FIT24 for 10% off any order at jvjdna.com web store. Awesome.
I am so fired up. We have sponsors.
Yeah.
So hey, I'm all in on adaptogen as being.
Are you?
Yes. So there's it's not just. I mean, some say that it's really good for post COVID, right? Post COVID, sort of getting your immune back. If you had COVID. Maybe some folks are worried about, what the treatment has done for their immune system. I look at it as a shield. Immune is a shield. You wear it like a shield.
Yeah.
And whatever I can do for that. So I do the vitamin stack for it,
right.
But I'm all in on that because it's herbal. It's
right.
herbal. Yeah, it's herbal. So ordered up and in the mail to me. I use that promo code FIT24 to get my 10% off. Discounts are discounts,
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm all for it. It was funny. I was on Twitter. I was on Twitter about 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago, and folks were talking about are there any forms of supplements out there that sort of treat with folks that have been injured? And I was like, yeah, try this. Cause I know what it is. So I linked it.
Yeah.
And man, the engagement was through the roof.
Was it?
Oh, it was crazy. It was crazy how many people hit retweet. I love getting retweets. Retweets, quote retweets, replies, likes. Yeah, it was awesome.
Do you want to address Lynn's comment there?
Yeah. What does he say?
Johnson & Johnson, we trust them now after what was done with their...
This founder, Lynn, he
left.
Excuse me. He was working for Pfizer during the pandemic and he quit. He quit for a reason.
For a reason.
Yeah, for a reason. We don't want to talk too much about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Because then we get kicked off of YouTube.
But yeah. Good question.
Yeah, but he exited Pfizer. He was no longer aligned with the company mandate. He wanted to go out and do something else, and he spent a career in trying to help people.
Yeah,
and he's gone out and done his own thing.
Yep. Darcy Martins. Hey, everyone. YouTube censors big time. Haven't seen anything from Thomas and Janet anywhere. Are they okay? Well, as far as we know, they're off doing Cognitive Disturbance. That's their YouTube channel. We've just been so busy. We haven't really touched base with them since before Christmas. I don't know about you, Brooke, but that's my understanding.
Haven't even seen their postings or any kind of retweets on Twitter or anything. Been pretty quiet.
Yeah, maybe they're just taking a break for the holidays.
Possibly.
Lynn B says, let's have a good laugh. She shares a bad lip. I love that channel. Bad lip reading. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just said hello. Okay, we addressed that one. Oop. I'm old. No VX, no meds, no supplements. Seldom unwell. Good to hear.
I mean, okay, so why do we supplement? Why do we look at supplements as a thing? First off, it's because modern food production,
it's not in our diet,
has extracted the nutritional value from our food.
Exactly.
So what we expect to be in an orange, what we expect to be in a green pepper, it's not there. It's been synthetically pulled out through mass production. So that's why I supplement. I mean, back in the good old days, right? You might be able to eat that way. Yeah. And I think that that's good for maybe my generation, you know, that sort of on the bridge of millennial and Generation X. We did grow up pre-microwave. You know, I think I was 12 years old when we got our first microwave. So that was when the shift happened towards, you know, the American Heart Association recommending more seed oils, recommending more processed food like grains and wheats and such, away from fats and meats, which was a major mistake. We've known that now for a while, that was a payoff, that they got paid off to do that. The food pyramid, that was all phony, right? So, that's why I supplement. And I'm telling you, I wear my shield. I bring my shield with me. It's important. Yeah. I am a very busy man. If you could see my whiteboard to the left of me, I have a lot of things on the go. And there's a lot of people who rely on me for being there, and I can't miss a beat.
Yeah, exciting stuff too. You've been showing me, and so let's dig into this. This is the next. I just wanted to let Matt Gaetz speak for himself. You kind of touched on this.
So, Florida Republican Congressman and member of the House Armed Services and Judiciary Committees, Matt Gaetz. Welcome, Congressman. Great to have you.
Good to be with you.
So is it worth it all going 15 rounds to elect a speaker?
Absolutely. We got concessions that really were being rejected as early as Monday when it comes to being able to read legislation 72 hours before its adoption, individual appropriations bills, and ultimately what we negotiated ensures that we will never again have a circumstance like this omnibus spending legislation, because bills will have to comport to a single subject. There will be germanity requirements.
That's so
on
good.
Amendments. And so it's going to be an
Pause it
open
right
process, a transparent process. I'm thrilled
Pause
with
it.
the House.
Okay, so here's what's important, and I'll break this down for the listeners in case they missed that or don't understand what that is. Basically, for so long, Congress has been ramming a bunch of stuff together in a bill, and they've been coupling it with like something that's extremely important. Let's say the debt ceiling, right?
Yeah.
Let's say a bailout plan for automakers. They get all this emotional, again, fear. We talked about this in the campaign. We need to stop making the decisions based on fear. It has to be on rationality and logic. What's good for everything? What Gaetz is saying and what he held out for is to ensure that there will be no more omnibus bills, that they will start bringing bills to the floor that are single issue bills. So they can't do this phony baloney no more. So they can't say, well, we need to raise the debt ceiling or the American dollar is going to tank. And they're like, okay, well, we got to do that. We all agree on that. And they write an omnibus bill that's like 3,000 pages and they give you a day to read it. And it has everyone's pet project along with it. I mean, that's just garbage. That is garbage. I can't explain to people how garbage that is. Right? Like, you know, we have something here in Sarnia, and let's say it's the waterfront master plan that everyone's involved with and everybody is on board with, right? Okay, well, we throw that in, and let's say there's a last minute audit where there's more money that's needed, and we throw that in, and we get everyone behind it. And at the same time, too, everyone's pet project from Bob Dickinson's, whatever road project he's into next for bike lanes, or whatever Nathan wants to do, you know what I mean? Like they all just throw it in all of a sudden. And we're like, well, we got to have the waterfront upgrade. So we got to take all this. It's just, it's nonsense. And I love this part about what it is that they've done. And I think that's a example that we should be using everywhere. Go ahead and continue.
Of Representatives is today.
You were quoted as saying the construct of these rules concessions functionally turn the speakership into a ceremonial position. Do you mean that?
Well, Speaker McCarthy is our speaker, and long live the speaker. I look forward to working closely with him, but he did agree, to his great credit, to democratize power to the membership. Oftentimes, these committees that decide what bills come to the floor, what the spending paradigm is, they're controlled just by people loyal to the speaker. Now what we have is a real representation of all of the different viewpoints within our conference. On the Rules Committee, on the Appropriations Committee, we fought hard to get agreements to have conservatives on those committees, to have our budget hawks on appropriations. And I can't wait to see what we're able to do when we unlock the potential of all of our members going forward.
What about the concern that this
Okay, go ahead and
delayed
hit pause there.
process?
So basically, the power of the speaker is the power to appoint people who represent certain interests in the country. So there are committees in Parliament, there's committees in the United States and in the Congress that represent fishing, that represent hunting, that represent budget, that represent oversight, represent banking. And usually what the speaker is allowed to do is appoint people that are his people that helped him, which is great, him or her, right? You're supposed to do that and have that power. So,
Right.
you know, the speaker is able to bring in lots of money from lobbyists and appropriate that money to help people that are aligned with him. And he puts his cronies on all the committees. So that's all aligned. And now what's happened is that's been affected so profoundly by money. Big money from corporations. So they own all these committees. And what Gaetz has fought for and what everyone's fought for is no, Americans have to have a voice on these committees. And that's what he went to the wall for. And he fought for that. And now what he's saying is our people have a voice now in each one of these committees, which is another brilliant part of what he was able to extract from their holdout.
Yeah. Len B says McCarthy had to agree to several concessions in order to gain the votes. He will toe the line or be removed.
That's right.
Honeycomb says America is going down the same path with the Democrats as Canada is with the Liberals. They need to vote Republican. Len B, Republicans now have control of the House, so we should see some big changes coming very quickly.
Well, I think they already voted to end the 87,000 the funding for the 87,000 employees at the IRS.
Right. Yeah. Honeycombs, but I was hoping it would be a red wave and have them take the House and Senate. But yeah, you're right, Linby. They did.
Well, wait. Stop there. You know what? I agree with that. Yes. But I also like what has happened now because McCarthy was so weak and America First Gaetz knew that. He was able to use that situation to his advantage.
Right.
I don't think he would have been able to use that situation at all had there been a wave, because then McCarthy would have been stronger.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been able to use the situation. So, in fact, in the long run, if you're a populist, if you're a working class, if you want the little guy to have a voice at the table once again, what happens is actually a good thing.
Yeah. Lynn's pointing out that 87,000 IRS stooges are history. Woohoo.
Yeah. Well, we have to beat that here too, Lynn, because I know that the CRA is ramping up their head count as well. And it'll be a more difficult fight here. And that's why Brandon and I do what we do.
Yeah, exactly. Well, did you want to finish that video or do you?
No, I think it's time for me to log off here. I've got a few things to do. I know that we have a 2:00 meeting. We're going to be bringing in possibly bringing in a new voice, a new face, new somebody. She's going to do something for us. Hopefully she'll good looks the place up. I don't think you and I are the. I think the channel can get a overall looks improvement from you and I.
Yeah, we need a pretty face.
You know, although I will say in my discussions with former city councilor Nathan Calhoun last week. I think I won the looks battle that night.
Yeah. Agreed. Right on, man.
Yeah, awesome. Good hanging out with you, Brandon. Thanks a lot, everyone, today. It's good seeing you, Lynn, Honeycomb, PDS. Let me see. Darcy, nice to see you again. Who else was in the chat today? That's pretty much it. Yeah, that commented. But yeah, and Activate. Thank you for the super chat. It's activated. Something that Brandon and I really are striving for this year. We're going to be trying to monetize the channel a lot more because we've rolled out a vision about how we want to be more active here now that I'm on Canadian soil. I know that it's energized Brandon. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that he didn't know and stuff. So we had a good hangout. When was it? Friday last week?
Yeah.
So we went over it. We're going to be making t-shirts for the channel. So we'll have a merchandise store, some cool
Maybe
political shirts with some cool slick taglines. Might do some mugs. Yeah. I know that Brandon's going to be rolling out his book here soon. We're excited about that.
Yep.
We brought on an inside man to operate the political side of everything we're doing. And so far he has been exactly what I thought he would be, if not more. Exactly what Brandon and I need so that Brandon and I can be Brandon and I. And we have a vision for how we're going to be active and how we're going to support our causes, not just our causes, but people who need help. Hey, Brandon, just people who need help here in our country.
Yeah.
But really, really make sure that the messaging is all about being practical, solving our problems, and removing the special interests and corruption from our government. That's it.
That's a good New Year's resolution for me.
What kind of political party is that?
I don't know. Between PPC and conservative?
Yeah.
The MC party.
Yeah,
Momentum
I don't want to
Canada
be
party.
that group that goes and makes their own political
No.
party.
That's
Canada's
a joke,
doing that
everyone.
way too much. Oh, I can't win. I can't win with these guys. I'm going to go make my own thing. Like that part is
Yeah.
Oh, Lynn's read the first chapter of your book, she said.
Yeah, I sent it to her. Get her thoughts.
All right,
and,
right on.
Give me some.
Good. I'm glad you did. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to read that. Right on.
Yeah. I'm
Anyways,
excited
guys,
to get
good
it
to see you today. I'm out. Bye-bye.
out. All right. Take care, Brooke. Awesome. So let's read the rest of your guys' comments here. Excuse me. Limby says, exactly correct, Brooke. The non-red wave turned out to be a good thing. I can see that. That's good stuff. I'm excited because actually why I'm pretty excited because anytime the States does well, for obvious reasons, because I think it's like 80% of our, what do you call it? Our shipping goods and stuff. What do you call that? 80% of our stuff is between the States. So obviously when they do well, we do well. But also because I work in the States, I'm a voiceover talent. I work from my studio, which is in just around the corner there. And all my clients are in the States. So every time the States does well, it looks good on me because people can afford more of my work. So that's really good when the economy does well, at least. So we'll see, and we'll be on the lookout for some positive changes. Sportsman Music says Congress needs to increase border security. It's on the minds of U.S. citizens. What's going on at the south border, the southern U.S. border is insane. I agree with you. Yeah. And that's been the case since Biden's taken office, and they've just turned a blind eye to it. And it seems, and what I heard is that Biden's actually making his first visit. He's actually going down, guys. Coincidentally, as soon as the Speaker of the House was sworn in. So now they're taking it seriously. A little late. And yeah, anyways. Lynn B says, I'm not sure if that has gone through yet. PDS. I'll have to look into it. Thanks, Brooke. Awesome. That's in the works for sure. Yeah. Take care, everyone. Hold the line for the children. Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up soon. I'm just going to read the rest of your comments. I read the first chapter of Brenda's book. Now I need to read the rest so I can know what happened to her. LOL. Yeah, I'm excited for you guys to read it. I actually had a local movie maker. So there's a family here in Sarnia that makes movies, and they submit them to actually their last film it was worldwide and in select theaters, but worldwide. And they were winning some awards because it was a historical movie based in World War I. And so they're two brothers, and one's I believe the director and writer, and the one is kind of the actor and helps with producing and stuff. But I had him look at my book, and he read a couple chapters. He's, bro, he's like, you're a good writer. He said, I'll give you that. And at first he said, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. He said, I'm not one who pays empty compliments. I'm like, ooh, okay, go for it. So he was brutally honest by saying it was pretty good. So I'm happy about that. Libertarian, she shouts. That's Lynn B. PDS, the freedom of justice. Yes. Commerce. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Sportsman Music says Biden is in Mexico now. Oh, is he? Is he on vacay? Or is he at the border? That's what I want to know. Biden is only visiting the border today because, okay, so they're there today because they're going to Mexico and it's on their way. Ha 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 ha. So this is off topic, but, well, not really, but I heard, and I don't know if it's confirmed, that Donald Trump is going to be, because like I'm in Sarnia, Ontario. If you look at the map, oh, let's do this hand. If this is Michigan thumb, I'm like right over here because there's a river that goes between here and Ontario. So I'm like right here. And Trump is supposed to be in Port Huron, Michigan tomorrow. So I can look across the river with my binoculars. Probably shouldn't because he'd probably snipe me. That's the rumor. I don't know if it's true. So I should go out, and I think it was supposed to happen today. Not entirely sure. But that would be exciting, I think. Lynn B says, Brandon, before you log off, play that video I linked above. Give everyone a good laugh. LOL. I'll see if I can. I should be able to. What he said sounds very much like what I told you about your book. You must be a pro, Len. Sportsman Music says Kamala Harris was supposed to be in charge of the southern border. Whatever. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to try to find that link you shared. There's just a lot of comments I'm scrolling through. Oh, here it is. See, that's the thing with comments. They won't let me select a link. Yeah. It won't let me select it. It'll let me highlight it. There it is. But I can't grab it. I can't grab that link. So sorry. Anyways, I'll close off the show by just letting you guys know that, yes, my book is coming out hopefully by next week. I hope to be promoting it and kind of telling you guys about it by next week. I was hoping it would be today that I'd be telling you guys it's available. But once I got the physical copy in my hand, and I got a proof copy. That's what I always do. My last book, it was very helpful that I had a physical copy because it's a little different when you're looking on the screen versus something in person, for me at least. And for me, seeing it in person, I can see so much more mistakes. And it's just little mistakes like a comma missing there or, periods absent. So it's that type of stuff. And there's quite a bit of it. So I'm pouring through it. And I'll give you guys an update. Hopefully it's by next week, but I'll keep you posted. Prey Manta says, following Lynn B. Awesome. Oh, darn, that video would have been good for Gil. Well, I'll make sure I check that out. And who knows, maybe I can dial it up next time. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been a great show. And I hope you have a good day and a good week. Catch you next Monday. This happens every Monday. 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Momentum Canada, Momentum Monday. Take care. That's a show.